Los Ratones, Cadrill's new competitive League of Legends team, just won a tournament with a $10,000 prize for first place. And maybe even more surprising than them winning the tournament, which I think a lot of people expected, was how dominant they looked throughout the event and just how strong the team looked overall, which maybe is going to surprise some people because, again, this was with even Cadrill playing support before Reckless has even come, before the team even has their full official lineup. But in this video today, I wanted to go over Los Ratones' run through the NNO Cup and talk about how things are going for them and what things are looking like going forward into the future as well. But of course, first, I want to mention real quick, everything that we're doing here on Sheep Esports is powered by Holy. These are great tasting energy drinks that also just so happen to be healthier than the competition. So make sure you guys go check out that first link in the description below. Use that discount code SE5 to get €5 off your first purchase, or SE10 to get 10% off your entire basket. Yeah, they are supporting us, and if you guys go buy some, obviously it helps support the channel and our content, everything we do here at Sheep Esports, so we'd appreciate that a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this. So again, Los Ratones, they're this new team that Cadrill has formed for the 2025 season that are, obviously, they're a competitive League of Legends team. They want to win. They want to compete. I'm sure there's plenty of players on that team, like Reckless and like Nemesis that would love to prove themselves as, legitimate professional players that are able to come back into the scene that can make a difference on some kind of team, whether that be in Europe or Korea or whatever going forward into the future. Then you also have guys like, the Boss, who would like to prove that he is a really strong competitive player as well, and that he's not, just some kind of streamer or content creator or inter or whatever. So there is a lot that these guys have to prove, but obviously this team is mostly based around content as well. Cadrill wants them to be streaming, wants them to be putting out YouTube content, wants to help grow everyone, and while doing this, they're going to be helping growing the scene as well. There's going to put a ton of eyes on competitive League of Legends. This is going to put a ton of eyes on, ERLs, whatever ERL they end up playing in. This is going to put a ton of eyes on, European Masters if they end up making it that far and stuff like that. So this team is competitive. There are a ton of great players. There are a ton of great individual players. And like I said, so far, they have been very, very strong as a team. So again, going into this event, this is the first event that this team was going to be playing. This was the NNO Cup Season 2. This is a tournament with 8 teams who are just kind of, mostly thrown together teams for off-season. There's some very, very good players participating in this tournament, but I don't think there's necessarily like an insane team or like a fully thrown together team or anything like that. Many of these players are going to be competing, on different teams, different rosters, stuff like that in 2025. But again, some very, very good players participating in this tournament. We have Yankos competing with 5 Pigs, 1 team. We have Adam and Camilu both on the same team, French Flair. So, that has to probably be a pretty strong roster thrown together. We have other guys like, Gilius and Agarin and Werlib and plenty of other guys, that you will know or have heard their names before or whatever. And again, a lot of the talent is spread across, multiple different teams, whatever. But this was Los Ratones' first challenge. Now, again, the challenge was also going to be Cadrill playing as support with Reckless out. Reckless was on vacation. He's chilling. He had a long, crazy season with obviously T1, and he went to Worlds with them. So he had this really, really long season where he was doing a ton of things. And it's the off season. He wants to take a break. He wants to chill for a little bit. So Cadrill is going to have to step in. And obviously from the clips that we've seen, a lot of the plays and everything, Cadrill is not necessarily the best support in the world, and at certain times is running it down a little bit. No, obviously Cadrill is a former professional player. He's a great player in his own right, whatever. But trying to step in last minute and figure things out as a support, was going to be a little bit difficult. So people were maybe a little bit worried for Los Ratones since Cadrill was going to be playing. But again, a ton of really, really strong players on this team. And this thing did start out really, really good for Los Ratones. They took on KMF in the first round. So this was like an all-Polish team, and Los Ratones handled them very, very well. They ended up getting a 3-0 in their first series against this team, and that was obviously a very, very good start. And we started to get a lot of fun and awesome clips. We started getting huge plays from the Boss. I think he did surprise people a lot with a lot of his picks. I know I saw like throughout the tournament he had like solo kills on Mbessa, and he was making tons of big plays and all this stuff. I know people were also have really been impressed so far with Nemesis, saying that, man, he really does look like a beast. He really does look like he can be a top tier player and leader for this team. That's not anything surprising at all, but obviously, a guy who can hopefully lead them through the ERLs and lead them to EMEA Masters and, maybe even win a title or anything like that. But Nemesis has definitely looked like a beast and looked strong. So that was definitely a good start, like I said, for the Los Ratones there in their first matchup. And again, a 3-0, that's clean, that was nice, that was good. Then they moved on to play against No Need Orga in the second round of this tournament. This is a team with Tolkien, Aguirre, No Way, mostly a German team here. And Los Ratones, again, very, very clean. They did drop their first game in this series, but still ended up with a 3-1 victory. So still going strong and getting some wins. And then on the other side of the bracket, we did have the 5 Pigs 1 team, another very, very strong team. This was with Drew Tut and Yankos and Reptile, a team that a lot of people were going to be worried about, and maybe that Los Ratones was going to have to take on. And going to be some tough competition for them. They actually did lose to that team French Flair, again, like I said, with Adam and Camilo. So then 5 Pigs 1 team was going to drop down to the lower bracket, and Los Ratones was going to have to take on French Flair. And again, French Flair was coming off a big win against this other team with Yankos on it. Yankos got to be one of the best players in this entire tournament. So this was going to be a very, very big test for Los Ratones to see how clean they were. Again, Adam is a guy who we've seen in the LEC for the past couple of years. Camilo is one of the most hyped up prospects coming into the LEC right now. Really seen as hopefully one of the guys who can develop into like one of the mid laners of the future in the LEC. This team is talented and scary and coming off a big win. And Los Ratones handled them very, very cleanly again. A 3-0 for Los Ratones over French Flair. That is a huge series. That is a huge win. Again, having guys like the Boss having to take on Adam in the top lane, having Nemesis take on Camilo in the mid lane, not even having their starting support in Reckless, having to sub in Cadril, and have him go up against, this team that is a pretty legitimate team, a pretty strong team, especially for like this like preseason or offseason tournament or whatever. Now, I do think eventually, obviously, Los Ratones is going to face more steep competition in the ERLs and eventually in the EMEA Masters and all that stuff, but for right now, when Los Ratones just barely got thrown together, and they're trying to figure so many things out, also while still streaming and creating content, doing all these things, and also proving to people that you can still play at a very, very high level while creating content, streaming, and all this stuff, because I know that's something we hear from pro players a lot of times, and I know that's something the Boss has even called out, saying that, hey, these guys are lazy, these guys aren't that good, these guys don't have good habits and all that stuff, and showing, yes, you can stream, create content, and then still go on the Rift and practice and scrim and compete at a high level. So, again, this 3-0 win over French Flair did catapult Los Ratones into the grand finals, where they were going to be taking on this team of Yankos with 5 Pigs and 1 team, because 5 Pigs 1 team did beat French Flair in the lower bracket finals 3-2 after Los Ratones sent them down to the losers bracket finals. So again, a hard fought victory where 5 Pigs 1 team and French Flair do seem very, very closely matched up, because again, they had a 3-2 win and then a 3-2 win the other way. This brought us to the grand finals. Again, $10,000 or 10,000 euros on the line for first place, and bragging rights, and to see, just how legit, just how good Los Ratones was. And obviously, Los Ratones got this thing done against 5 Pigs 1 team. Los Ratones wins in the grand finals 3-1 with a very, very clean series win. This was a big series win. And again, this thing is exploding all over social media. If you look up and search right now, I mean, obviously, they were all streaming it. They all had their own point of views that were doing insanely well. Cadrill's already posted a video about this, has like 400,000 views or something. A ton of people are making videos about it. Obviously, each of these individual people is going to have their own content videos coming out. We're going to have millions of views across everything. And I know Drew Tut made a video, and obviously all the different other teams and players are making videos about this stuff as well. Millions of views to a preseason tournament with, not like fully fleshed out lineups or whatever. So I think overall this thing was a smash hit success, not only for Los Ratones, who obviously proved they were insanely dominant, only dropping 2 games throughout the entire tournament, proving they are legit, proving they are for real, and putting people on notice. And again, once I even add Reckless to this lineup, this team is going to be even more scary, even more dominant, and look even more clean. But also, showing people that this project can work. This can be insanely fun to watch, because it was super fun to watch. It's been super fun to follow. Their Twitter account has been tweeting out a ton of clips, a ton of content. Like I said, YouTube videos all over the place, like endless amounts of content. And this is just getting started. This was just a preseason tournament. And if Los Ratones is able to, continue scrimming, playing together, ramping up, getting better, and also creating higher quality content and all that stuff. Now, obviously, some of the things that could potentially be worrisome is if, some of Los Ratones players get poached or want to go to other teams or want to try to make it to the LEC, or if Reckless wants to go back to Korea or something like that. Obviously, this could, hamper some things a little bit. But for the time being, I think we should all appreciate what they're doing, just how dominant they looked, how fun and exciting they are to watch. And yeah, Los Ratones so far has been a smash hit success. Things are going very, very well. And obviously now the org, the players, Cadril, whoever, is 10,000 euros richer with a nice little first place finish in the NNO Cup Season 2. But that's pretty much everybody's video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.